Hello everyone, welcome back to rFactor 2 for this BMW M2 Cup race at NOLA Motorsports Park. I'm starting P11 on a grid of 18 and things are going to get pretty bad tempered before this one is done. Let battle commence! Oh, not a good start at all. We had a really poor getaway as the lights went green there. Not as bad as Dennis Kimoff over to the right. He had an absolutely disastrous start from P6. And we've both lost a bunch of positions. I've certainly lost two. Stefano Ladamarin has got past me. Diego Turcas has got past me. And they were the two drivers right behind me on the grid in P12 and P13. So we've got to be really careful here. It's tight and twisty, particularly on this opening lap when the track is so crowded. We've got a car to our inside, so I'm trying my best just to run out a little wider and leave him some space. Oh, there's some contact. That was Dennis Kimoff, and it looks like Kimoff has gone. Oh no. Well, it's so tight through that hairpin on lap one. I guess a little bit of contact is inevitable, but it certainly felt like my tap from behind helped Kimoff on his way there. We'll go back and check out a replay shortly, but I suspect I might owe Kimoff an apology there for that contact. But for now, we've got lap one to concentrate on, and we're going to come under attack here from Jukka Houttunen on the inside. I leave him a bit of space to get through. I'm still rattled from that first hairpin, if I'm honest. I just want to get through this first lap safely. It's so slippery out here in these M2 cars. Once again, I've dialed up the TC to full wet weather settings, but still it feels like there's precious little grip. Right, we're at the end of lap one. We're in P13, so let's go back and check out a replay of this incident at the first hairpin. Now, I'm the dark grey BMW on the outside. Dennis Kimoff is the white BMW on the inside. There's the pass by Kimoff. There's a bit of contact, and it just causes him to lose the rear. Yeah, that contact was so minimal. We're riding on board with Kimoff now. That's me on the outside. You can see just how tight it is now. I'm leaving it more than a car's width here. There's the contact. I wonder if I did just turn in a little too tightly there. I mean, I knew he was on my inside. I knew he was making a pass. I should have just left a little bit more space as I exited the corner. On board with me now. There's the contact. Oh, there's actually two little taps. And Kimoff is gone. Dennis, I'm sorry about that one. So we'll return to the live action at the start of lap 3. I'm in P13 and I'm just 0.3 of a second behind Jukka Houttunen in 12th. But honestly, I don't know how I'm going to find a way through. I mean, I feel like I'm a little bit quicker than Houttunen, but this track is so tight and twisty, there doesn't seem to be any realistic way past. There's very little toe as well. You can see now we're tucking right in behind Houttunen and we're still not getting any extra speed. So this is going to make it really challenging to try and advance through the grid here. I mean, we're only 1.6 seconds off the top 10, but that seems like a mile away at the moment. I think the key to success on this track is getting your line absolutely spot on through these S's and trying to get your momentum to count at exactly the right time. So let's see what we can do. Timing is of the essence here, and thankfully we've still got a lot of it. There's going to be another 10 laps to go after this one as we work our way through the final two turns, and we're visibly quicker than Houttunen there. We're right on his tail. Now, can we pick up any toe at all down the start-finish straight? It doesn't look like we can. I'm tucking in as close as I possibly can, hoping that the extra speed will give me the opportunity to move alongside, but we're nowhere near. So I'm going to have to resort to feigning a move up the inside to try and spook Houttunen. That doesn't work either. Houttunen holds his line, holds on to that 12th position. So yeah, if we're going to make an overtake here at NOLA, we are really going to have to earn it. Let's jump forward to lap 5, and it's as you were. We're still in P13. We're still all over the rear of Houttunen, but I just can't find a way through. I'm huffing, I'm puffing, but I can't blow Houttunen down. And at this point, I'm just looking for any mistake, and there's a glimmer of hope there. Houttunen just a little bit wide, left a gap at the apex, but again, there wasn't space to go through. He clips grass on the exit. That got the rear end a bit squirrely. We've got some advantage here now, but once again, I just can't squeeze through. These cars are so evenly matched. You can see how close the pack is together. I mean, we're only 1.4 seconds off Stefano Ladamarin in 10th position, but at the moment, I can't see how we're going to get anywhere near him. Realistically, I think our best hope is going to be other drivers making mistakes. And of course, this is a beginner's class race. Anything is possible. At the moment, I'm just experimenting with as many different lines as I can possibly find. Anything that gives me an extra mile per hour or two to challenge Houghton here. I certainly feel like I'm quicker through that final section, so that might be my opportunity. If I could somehow force my way up the inside into the penultimate turn, I'll also have the inside for the final turn. That might be the place where I can make a pass, but it's going to be tough. Lap 6 then, we're approaching half race distance, and there's been an incident ahead. Cad only has spun out, and we've also lost Stefano Ladamada. And I think Houghton might have got caught up in that as well, because Ollie came to a stop right in his path. So just like that, we find ourselves up into the top 10. Houghton did get through, he's behind me. Let's go back and check out a replay. We can see exactly what caused that. And watch the white BMW, that's Mattia Casarotto. He just runs in a little bit hot into T1, hits the rear of Cad Omi. Omi spins out, then slides back across track, and yeah, he collected Stefano Ladamada there. Let's ride on board with Ladamada, currently running 10th position, just coming through T1 now. There's Ollie coming back on the track, and it's a big hit. Ladamada stood no chance there. So yeah, a big moment in this race at the start of lap 6. We lose Cad Omi out of 7th position, we lose Stefano Ladamada out of 10th position. That promotes us into the top 10 with half the race still to go. Back to the live action then on lap 8, 2/3 race distance. I'm still in P10 and I'm about 1 second behind this three-way battle for 7th place. However, we're all going to gain a free position. Look to the right of the screen. That is Fabian sliding out onto the grass, losing his 6th position. So now we're up into P9. And we're going to skip forward a couple of laps. At the start of lap 10, I'd managed to reel in this group ahead, which is now a 4-way battle for the top 5. With me joining in, it becomes a 5-way battle for the top 5. There are 5 cars separated by just 1.2 seconds here. We're going to get 3 more laps after this one, so we could be setting up for a grandstand finish to this race. And it looks like the elbows are out at the front of this pack. That is Mattia Casarotto on the inside, trying to force his way past Andrei Shelenko to take that 5th position. Shelenko in the yellow BMW is hanging on by the skin of his teeth at the moment. Casarotto putting him under all sorts of pressure as we weave through these S's. I'm just 0.2 of a second behind Luque now. Anything could happen in this race. I'm going to switch to the inside. Can we spook Luque with a move up the inside? No, we can't. Luque closes the door. Meanwhile, in front of him, Casarotto is still putting Shelenko under all sorts of pressure. Look at Casarotto now. He's going to try and barge his way up the inside into the final 2 corners. He elbows Shelenko out into the runoff area. Shelenko is all out of shape. He's lost control completely. We might be able to make a pass here. Shelenko recovers. Oh, we're going to get trapped in against the wall here. We're alongside Luque, but we can't get past Shelenko. That's really unfortunate. We had the run on Luque there, but we just had to lift because we ran out of room. We got boxed in there. But things are getting tasty with a couple of laps to go. Oh, there's contact between Luque and Shelenko. Shelenko once again is sideways. Oh, I've switched to the outside line. If I can get alongside Luque here, I'm going to have the inside line for this hairpin, which might enable me to make the pass. And look at Shelenko. He's missed the apex completely. We could get by both of them here. There's contact with Shelenko. Oh no, there's even bigger contact. We're out of the race. Shelenko's gone with us. What on earth has happened there? Well, I thought I'd made a great double pass to jump from 9th to 7th. Seconds later, I am in the grass. Well, I'm sure I left Shelenko more than enough space on that outside for him to get through safely. We're going to have to check out the replay to get to the bottom of this one. And we'll need to go back to the end of the previous lap. Shelenko is in P5 at this point, but he is going to get barged out onto the grass by Mattia Casarotto. Shelenko is out wide, he loses a couple more positions, then rejoins with dirty tyres, very nearly loses control. He's sideways through the final corner, and then we find ourselves almost 3 wide, but unfortunately I get boxed in against the wall on the left. And then as we get to turn 1, it all starts to kick off. Luque's going to have a look up the inside of Shelenko. He just tags the rear. Shelenko once again lucky to save it. And it was at this point when I decided to make my move. I thought if I could get alongside Luque on the outside here, I'd have the inside for the hairpin, which would put me in a good position to try and take 1, maybe 2 positions. But watch Shalenko here. Oh, he loses the rear. He was oversteering into me, and then he turns into me again and spins me out. He comes with me onto the grass. A really bizarre accident there. Was that deliberate? It looks like he might have turned in on me intentionally there for the second hit that sent me out. We're riding on board with Shalenko now. Let's watch his steering wheel movements. Yeah, there was definitely a hard turn to the right there on a straight part of the track. Now, he knew I was alongside him. I thought I'd left him more than enough space, more than a car's width on that outside line. Sure, there was contact coming out of the corner, quite heavy contact, but that was caused mainly by his oversteer, sending him towards the middle of the track. As for that second hit, I'm not so sure. It looks a bit suspect. I mean, Shalenko spent the best part of a lap before this getting bumped and bashed, so maybe his frustrations got the better of him. Luque had the best view. Let's ride on board with him and see if the second turn-in looked deliberate after that initial oversteer. Yeah, what do you guys think? I mean, I was as far over to the right as I could be, so I do wonder whether that might have been a revenge hit. Anyway, what's done is done. We're on to the last lap. We're down into P14, and I don't think we've got enough time left to do anything about that now. Despite the disappointing result, it's still been a thoroughly enjoyable race, this one. Some great battling, and we may get a position after all, because there is a car out on the grass kicking up all sorts of dust there. That is Fabian. Are we going to be able to get around him? Jeff White certainly has. We're not going to be able to. Well, we're all over him. He's going to have dirty tyres as well from that off-track excursion, so we may be able to get 13th position after all here. Do you know what? I said earlier in the race that my best chance to make a pass would be into the final two turns. That's what I'm going to try here. I'm going to start by squeezing my way up the inside to give me the outside line around this long, sweeping left-hander. That is going to put me in the position for the penultimate turn on the inside, and we are going to get the pass done, surely. We just need to hit the apex on this final turn, and 13th position is ours. We have done it. Oh, that's a really satisfying end to this race. Sure, it was frustrating when that battle turned nasty a couple of laps ago, but to finish the race with a clean overtake on a track like this is really, really satisfying. And here's a replay of the incident that got Fabian into trouble. It's actually fairly similar to the incident I was involved in a couple of laps earlier. Fabian gets a tap, it sends him out to the grass. He's going to hit the wall pretty hard as well, so I suspect that picked up some fairly hefty damage for him. Jeff White gets past. I'm not able to, but it did put me in the position to strike that move that I planned earlier in the race. To make the pass, it was imperative that I got up the inside into this right-hander, not to make the overtake, just so I could position myself on the outside for this longer left-hand turn. As long as I could roll around the outside here, stay alongside Fabian, I knew that I'd have a great chance of passing him with the inside line for the final two turns. That's exactly what happened. And we grab a position on the very last corner of the race. So yeah, unfortunately we went from challenging for a top 5 to not even finishing inside the top 10. Here are the classified results. There we are, down in P13. And while it's not where I wanted to finish, there were more than enough signs of encouragement in this race. My fastest lap in the race was a 1:18.7. That was quick enough to be challenging for 5th position, no doubt about that. I'd be really interested to hear your thoughts on that incident with a couple of laps to go. Sure, it was frustrating, but that type of incident is always going to happen when you're battling so closely on such a crowded track, especially a track as tight and twisty as this one. And let's not forget as well, on lap 1, I nudged out Dennis Kimoff at exactly the same corner, so maybe I got what I deserved in the end. A really fun race though, enjoyed this one thoroughly. I hope you've enjoyed watching it, and I'll look forward to seeing you again on the grid very, very soon. Cheers.